Hello everyone. In the last video, we have discussed why Java is called as a platform independent one and what are the buzzwords that we have to know regarding this Java. So today in this video, I'm going to explain what is class and what are the variables. Class. Class is a collection of objects. Okay, so here the objects may be the data or else the methods that we are going to operate on that particular data over there. Okay. So we can say that a class is nothing but a collection of objects, or else we can also say class is a blueprint or template from which the individual objects are created. So the main thing is, so whenever we are trying to make use of this class, definitely it is completely depend upon the objects. So those are the things which we are going to create to run orders to operate on the particular data. So this is the structure of a class. So first we need to specify the class name. And then, so within this class, we have to specify the variables and the methods. Okay. So here we need to specify the class name. Here I have specified the class name as circle. And then here I have mentioned the variables. So the variables are center, radius, and then the methods. Whatever the methods that we are using in this class, those are circumference and then area. So when usually the class structure will be included with the variables and the methods. So a class is nothing but a collection of objects. So if you see this is the basic syntax of class. Okay, so where it will be consisting of a collection of fields and then methods. Here we need to make use of the keyword called class to define a class. So class followed by the name of the class. Okay, so we can give any name which we want. Okay, so class name, and then so this is completely an optional one. Here now just I'm going to explain you the basic syntax of a class. So that's why I'm not considering this one. Okay, this is completely an optional one. As I told you that we are having the special feature of Java is inheritance. No? So for extending the properties, for importing the properties of one class to another class, we will be making use of this extends keyword. Okay, so to inherit the properties of a super class to this class, child class, so we are making use of the keyword extends. So here I'm not including this one. This is a completely an optional one over here. I'm just want to define you that the class followed by a class name, and within this class we need to declare the fields and we need to declare the methods. Okay, so this is the basic syntax for defining a class. So that is nothing but class followed by a class name. So within this class we need to declare the fields and we need to declare the methods. So if you don't want to declare any methods or else any fields in the class, then we are calling it as a bare bone class. Okay. If you observe over here, so I have defined this class and then class name, and I haven't specified any method or else any variable declaration in this class. Then this class is said to be a bare bone class. So bare bone class is nothing but the class which is consisting of no fields and no method is nothing but bare bone class. Next, adding fields to our class. Here, so if you observe that bare bone class, I haven't included the variables and I haven't declared the methods also. But if you observe over here, I have represented this some variables. Okay, and whenever we are going to declare the variables, we need to specify the type of the variables also. So here these are the variable declaration where for defining this center, so I have taken the two coordinators, that is x and y, which is of type called double. And then next variable declaration is nothing but radius. So I have represented with the r with the same type called double over here. So this is how I'll be adding the variable declaration to this class called circuit. So if I want to add the methods, so if I along with this variable declaration, if I want to add the methods in the sense, so the syntax for the adding the methods is nothing but the type, that is for the method also we need to mention the data type and then followed by the method name. Okay, and then it will be consisting of the parameters list. That means whatever the parameters that we are using for this method specification, that should be represented over here. And within this method, we are writing the method body. So this will be included in this class. Okay, so here, if you observe over here, so this is the class. Here I have defined the variable declaration. Along with the variable declaration, so I'm going to specify the method declaration also. So my methods are public double. So double is the data type of the method called circumference. Okay. So here for this method, I'm going to write the body of the method called return. So 2 into 3.14 into R. So this is nothing but the body of the method. Okay. In the same way, if I want to define or else if I want to declare another method in this sense, same we have to define with the double. Okay. And then method name and then the method body. Okay, so this public is nothing but the access specifiers, where the access specifier is nothing but so we are going to specify the limit of that method. So it should be used within the class or else outside of the class. Likewise, if you want to define any specifications in this sense, we will be making use of this access specifiers. Along with this public, we are also having private protected also. So this is how we are defining a simple class. Okay, so we are just defining a class followed by a class name. So within the class, we are going to declare the variables and also the method declaration. So within this with method declaration also, we need to specify the type of the method and then method name. And if you want, we can pass the parameters list also. And this is the method body. Next with the variable types. So here, as I told you that in the class itself, we will be declaring the variables. So that means we are going to specify the variable declaration in the class. Here, we are having three types of variables in this concept. That is local variables, instance variables, and then class variables. So coming across with the local variables, so these variables are defined inside the methods or else constructors or blocks. So if they are defined, any variables which are defined inside the methods, constructors or blocks in this sense, we are calling it as a local variables. So the variable will be declared and initialized within the method and the variable will be destroyed when the method has completed. So then only we are saying it as a local variable. Okay. So the variables which are defined inside the methods, constructors or blocks. So those are said to be the local variables. And whatever the variables that has been declared and initialized within a method, so this will get destroyed when the method is completed. So that is nothing but local variables. Next with instant variables. So instant variables are the variables within a class but outside any method. That means, so these variables are initialized when the class is initiated. Okay, once the class got initiated in the sense, these variables will get initiated. So instance variables can be accessed from inside of any method or else any constructor or block of that particular class. See, as this has been created inside the class, whatever the class that is consisting of a method or constructor or block, it can make use of this instance variables. Next one is class variables. So these class variables are declared within a class and outside any method. So if you want to define this class variables outside the method in this sense, then we need to make use of the keyword called static. Okay, so this can be refer the common property of all the objects. Class variables or the variables, so which are declared within the class and outside of a method. So outside of any method. So if you are defining outside of any method in this sense, then we want to make use of the keyword called static. So these are the three different types of variables we are having: local variables, instant variables, and then class variables. So this is the example for specifying those three types of variables. So here I have specified the class name called dog. Okay. And as I mentioned that, so the class variable has to be represented by making use of the static keyword. No? So that's why I mentioned static and the type of that variable called string and then animal type. Okay, next, so this is the instant variables which has been initialized when the class is initiated, that is string breed. Next, int age. So these are also the variable declarations, int age and then string color. Here I have specified the empty method called void barking and then void hungry. So in this void hungry, again I have defined a variable which is local to this method called string food type. Okay, so this food type is a type of variable which has been declared in the method called hungry only. So that's why we are calling it as a local variable over here. So this is how we are defining all the three different types of variables in a class. Next, how we are going to create an object of a class. Okay, so if you observe here, so actually, so we are going to create the object dynamically by making use of a keyword called new. Okay, so it is very simple to create an object for anything. Okay, so here, if you observe this, this is the A circle and this is the B circle. And now I want to create an object for this A circle and then B circle. Okay, so here, see, to create an object for this A circle and B circle, I'm just specifying A circle is equal to new circle. Okay, so that it will be creating an object for this A circle. And for the B circle also, I'm just trying to create an object for B circle, that is B circle is equal to new circle. Okay, so for then it will be created with a new object. So coming to this third step, I'll explain in the next slide by showing this example. Okay, so here I have already created the objects. No, so after specification A circle is equal to new circle, so the objects has been created like P. Okay, for B circle the object has been created like Q. Okay, so this is how before assigning the B circle is equal to A circle. After specifying this assignment operator, then usually this A circle is reporting, that means it will be representing with the P over here. If it is a B circle in this, the object will be pointed to this B circle only. That means Q will be pointed to the B circle and P will be pointed to the A circle. So after assignment, here what is the statement I have written? B circle is equal to A circle. No. So here, whatever this specification we are representing over here, the B circle will be pointed to the A circle over here. Okay, so now Q will be removed. Okay, it won't, so we are not bothering about the Q at all. Okay, so we are just considering the P, so which is pointing to the B circle and also the A circle over here. And what about this Q? So this Q object will be moved to the garbage collection. Okay, so this object becomes automatically a candidate of garbage collection. So I already told you that Java will be having a garbage collector, no? So this Java automatically collects that object called queue into it. Okay, so Java generally Java automatically collects the garbage periodically and releases the memory, so which is used in future. Okay, so this is how this creation of objects will be done in a class. Okay. So this is how next how we will be accessing that particular object in this is. This is the syntax for accessing data which is defined in a structure. Object name dot variable name. Okay, and then object name dot method name. Okay, so if I'm going to specify circle, A circle is equal to new circle in this sense. Okay, so now object name. So what is the object name I have created? That is nothing but A circle. Here, A circle is the object name that I have specified. So A circle, that means object dot, what is the variable name here? X. is equal to 2.0. In the same way, so I'm trying to pass three variables, no, x, y, and r. So for that, before to that one, I'm specifying the object name called a circle dot y, a circle dot r. So this is how we are specifying the object names before the variable names. Okay, so this is how we are creating an object for a class. So this is of today's video. In the next video, I'll be continuing with the remaining concepts.